all the tires had to be brought in here. Now, from time to time, when the tires build up, sometimes some people, sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be the people working at landfill. Some people, stragglers, come in here and they set fire to the tires. In this case today, there was some controlled burning. As I was reliably informed by the engineer, there was controlled burning. We were burning at least 10 tires in small batches. Now, what happened is that the fire got out of control and burnt a whole lot of tires. So you had this plummet of smoke over the horizon, Goodwill and Stockfarm and that sort of thing. So that's what happened. So I'm here this morning. I got not the news, but I was listening to a talk show and I heard that. So I responded. I called Matt and I explained myself. Some people were not very happy with what I said, but I think I still stand by what I said. The truth is, though, we have got to ensure that the tires are not burnt, and I've given a directive from Mr. Scotland that the tires, we must dispose.
What is the alternative?
Well, the
dispose of the tires?
The alternative is that we have to recognize that we live in a small country. The tires, the problem of tire, the problem of getting rid of tires is a very difficult one. It's not a problem that we alone face to all the problems in all the countries of the Eastern Caribbean. Tires is a perennial problem. People bring in new tires, and tires don't go away. Prior to this landfill being established, people would dispose of tires. And you had an old tire. When you change your tire, you go throw it by the bayside, or you throw it in the ravine, or throw it in the precipice. So nobody saw the tires. The tires were just there, but they were still in the environment. Now that we ask everybody to bring the tires in, the tire repair people can't just dispose of tires. They have to bring it in. So that is something that allows for the mountains of tires that we have. Now, as a long-term measure, we probably need to look at some technology. Somebody said this morning that he has a plan before the minister, and the minister has not moved on it. I still have to review that whole thing, because the truth is, you have to know that it's going to deal with our problems once and for all. Because I saw the same type of technology in Guadeloupe. The tires were being pulverized, and all of that waste was there. They couldn't dispose of it, so the plant closed down. So we don't want to go invest in something that's not going to work. We have to ensure that it works, and we have to ensure that the residue from the tire processing thing that we're going to do is going to be sold around the world, if we don't know it. So we have to do all the physical studies. We have to ensure that the markets exist for that. You understand? So that is where I think it's at. Not that we don't want, because we want to deal with the problem, but sometimes people tend to believe that we take too long, and sometimes we feel that we're just being malicious, we're just being wicked. That's not the issue. The issue is that we have to ensure that if government is going to invest in any such thing, it has to work, and we don't want to, because already we have limited resources. We can't just take money and throw it down the drain. We have to ensure that it works. But in the interim, what we'll do, and one of the things, even up to this morning, this week, at our core management meeting, what we said we're going to do with the Ministry of the Solid Waste Corporation, we'll have to get a baler something that can cut the tires and in smaller chunks and package them. And eventually we have a project that can deal with the final recycling, or final getting rid of the tires in the final way, in a very what can I say? In a very final type of program we would get into it. But I think the problem that we have is not something that the government encourages. We don't encourage burning of tires, because we know more than anybody else what's the likely effects of smoke and this heavy toxic fumes that come from the tires. All this rubber, all this heavy substances that the tire has. We really don't think people should inhale that.
So we don't expect to see any more burning of tires here on the Fokole landfill.
We're not going to allow it. And if it happens, the solid waste management people will have to take the responsibility, because that's very clear as to the use of tires. The burning of tires is not something that we encourage. And if you look at this in Dominica, we got a lot of flack for derelict vehicles. You remember that? We had locations in Jimmet, we had locations in Granby, and people gave us a lot of blows, and they say, oh, the minister was not doing this, the minister was not. If you look around now, you don't see those derelict vehicles, and you see this here. This was provided Petrocode group, and they brought this piece of equipment here, this compactor. So we had all the waste vehicles compacted and shipped out. When you look down the side, you see the extent of the landfill. And I will say to you, at this landfill site, whilst people might say that we have not done anything with regards to health, with regards to environment, we have seen solid waste management come a long, long way. We have addressed the problem of solid waste. Government invested millions of dollars to get this landfill operational. And I think many of our people don't take time off to recognize the kind of contributions that this government has made with regards to waste management. Yes, the tire problem is still an ongoing problem. But just as we solve many of the problems of waste cardboards or plastic bottles, we will deal with the tires in time. It's taking some time, but we will do it.
Okay, thank you, sir.